Yes, guys, and a welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102, the D.T.L, Season 6, and we're up to March. Wow. Finally, Mark has finally got off his arse and done an update. And don't give me this excuse about it's Christmas, it's New Year, I've got family. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. Nah, I'm only joking, you lazy bastard. Right, so we're back up and running, and I think one of the most important things, for those of you that don't know, I do a very similar sort of game for Facebook. I've used D.T.L as a base of it, and I call it King of the Dugout. And one thing Mark has incorporated, and I think he's come away from this lately. You know, he appreciates people have issues, can't get on and stuff like that. He has re-implemented deadlines, which I think is really important, if I'm really honest with you. So with that in mind, we do have a resignation, and that was AMC, who was manager of Hull. Now, to be fair to AMC from the forums, you know, whatever reason it is, it's none of our business. You know, he said he hasn't got the time, which we all appreciate it. And for the benefit of that, it makes our video go a little bit quicker, because it means we ain't got to go through Hull City, don't it? What I do know is that there will be somebody on the waiting list, because it means that there's a space going, and I think I know who that is, so you'll have to stay tuned on that. So, as we come now then to the business end of Season 6, let's start with the league leader. And you know what, I'm getting sick of the sound of my own voice saying this guy's name, because he's currently running away with it in my own version of this. No, I'm only joking. Trunky, Colchester, look at them, riding high. Absolutely riding high. We'll look into him a little bit more in a moment. Newcastle United, Matt Collier. Scarlet One, shall I say, sorry. Scarlet One, absolutely brilliant month. I think it was a perfect month for him, but I think it's really been helped by results around him. Reese at Tranmere. There's no secret that, for me, he was above expectations in my last video, and he still is, to be fair. I think he's doing really well, but he's had a bad month, which is what's now made that gap so strong at the top there. Spectral, now he's one of my favourites to be up there in the top 4, and he's gradually creeping up there. 52 points for Spectral. Preston at North End, that is Luke. 3 points off the top 4. Well, I think it is actually top 3 you've got to be aiming for. He's looking good. Marimo, 49 for Arsenal. A little bit inconsistent, Marimo. Dermatron over at Southampton, 48 points. AJ at Man City, 47. Liverpool, Redknapp. Again, I expect more from Redknapp. 44. He's right bang in the middle. Dwetherston at Leeds United, 43. Wolves, for us, 43. We're not doing that great, are we? Virgil van Dijk, that is Neil, in 13th. London, 35, a.k.a. Ian. Manchester United, 36. And Evesham, Bolton Wanderers in 15th place. Now, there was some other breaking news, and that was we actually had a sacking in the game. It pains me. You're looking at the bottom, aren't you? You're looking at the bottom, and it wasn't me, so go fuck yourself. No, it was Neil, Virgil van Dijk. He's been reinstated, but it's never nice to be named and shamed. It means that you've got to sort yourself out. So Neil, given the first sacking of the season. So 10 league games to go. There's also, let me not forget, Just a Ghost over at Blackburn Rovers. 4 points off the playoffs. Let's be honest, right? We all want to see Just a Ghost make the playoffs and get promoted. No doubt about that. We all want to see it. So, before we go to the league and see where everyone was, let's go and have a look at the League Cup, because the semi-final was concluded, and we will see Liverpool take on Colchester United. Second leg then for Trunky, 2-1 win over the now unmanaged Hull City. And Liverpool, they needed extra time. Redknapp needed extra time against London 35, and he did it, and he books his place. Well done. That's all I'll say. Well done. Over to the FA Cup then. Replays then. Well, there was no fifth round replays involved in any of our guys at the minute. Yeah, there was one there. The 26th, Man City, AJ. He needed extra time, and now Redknapp knows what it feels like. So he's through to the quarterfinals. And in terms of the rest of the fifth round, Arsenal are there. Trunky's still got to have his replay. And Preston are there as well. So the fixtures look like this. After Trunky, I think he'll get past Colchester. No doubt about that. There we are. That's a better way to look at it. So, I fancy Preston. I think Man United against Colchester will be a very, very good game, and I fancy City and Arsenal to both advance through. Let's go to the Champions League now then, and the UEFA Cup. We'll go to the UEFA Cup first. Well, the fourth round is underway. Redknapp's off and running. I am off and running, and Spectral's Chelsea. Well, it was a clash of the round, really, weren't it? He took on previously managed Hull City, 0-0. So, three of us riding high. And for me and Redknapp, we got 1 foot in the quarterfinals. Now, looking around, you know, who do we want in that quarterfinal draw? I just want to avoid any fellow human manager, truth be told. So, let's now take a look at the Champions League. Dermatron looking good. Although anything can happen, really, going into those last 2 games. It's very, very tight there. No one of interest over there. Trunky. Once again, Trunky's killing it. And AJ's Man City is on the brink. He really is on the brink. Okay, so let's go to the league. Now, this was interesting because I had a brief look at this. Trunky, he didn't actually play too much in the league. He had a couple of victories, a draw with Tottenham, and then a massive defeat against Tranmere Rovers, which was absolutely uncalled for. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are the same as me, right? Even if you are, he would have been probably 10 points clear or whatever. Even if you're 10 clear and you lose a game like that, right, I would be fucking seething. Even though you still got a gap, you'd be seething, wouldn't you? You'd be fucking disgusted. I know I would be. So, but you know what? I think he's still riding high, isn't he? He's going to get through. He's got to get through that FA Cup replay. He's in the League Cup final. He's on for the quad. No pressure here, Trunky, but you're the man. Trunky, I mean, he really is. He knows what he's doing, doesn't he? He knows his shit. And I've said this before, he plays the long game. He does, and it really shows as we're now, you know, well into season 6. Over to Newcastle United. Matt. Now, Matt, for me, right, has done extremely well. It was a perfect month for him. Winning all your games is one thing in the league, but winning them against fellow human opposition is another. And a superb job from you, Matt. It really was. 3 clear. You know, I think you guys have got to remember it's top 3 for Champions League. Ordinarily, we all know it's top 4, but from an editor perspective of how Mark makes a new save, it will be top 3. So that needs to be the benchmark. And I don't think Matt was really giving himself a top 3 expectations. I would have thought maybe top 6, but he's doing really well. Reece, we spoke about Reece, and it was a shocking month for Reece. Defeat against Chelsea, defeat against Man City, a draw against Liverpool, and, you know, he must have been going to Colchester thinking he's going to get arse raped. But, you know what, that could be such a turning point for him. It really could. Over to Chelsea, Spectral, one of my tips to climb up there. Victory over Tranmere, draw with Liverpool, victory over Watford, victory over Arsenal. He will creep up, yeah. He will creep up like Jimmy Savile creeps into a bedroom. I guarantee. Over to Preston North End then, Luke. Let's see how Luke's month went. Brilliant victory over Dermatron, victory over Hull City. Didn't beat me, of course he didn't. Went through in the FA Cup and a draw with Man City. Well done. Over to Marimo, over at Arsenal then. Draw with Bolton, draw with Southampton, a victory, and a defeat against Chelsea. He's still riding high in the FA Cup though. So Marimo's been a little bit inconsistent, to be fair. Dermatron of course got Champions League action as well. In terms of the league, a defeat against Preston, a draw against Arsenal, beat Man United and beat Bolton. So shaky start, but came back well. AJ's Man City, of course, in the Champions League as well. He's got to have an FA Cup quarter-final game after having a replay. Only had a few league games, defeat, win, draw, so it could have been better. Over to Liverpool, Redknapp. So defeat against Tottenham, draw. It was a shocking month, really. Generally speaking, he didn't pick up any wins in the month. Didn't realise that, and he'll be fucking disgusted. Over to Dweverstone. Is it referred as Dweverstone? I'll call it Dweverstone, I'm sure it is. Dweverstone, let's see. Let's see where Dweverstone started out his month then. He didn't have much action. He beat Man City, got thrashed, got beat. Losing against Derby, he'll be gutted. Look at that. You just, you really got to avoid it. Wolverhampton Wanderers, we're going to get to Wolves in a bit. Leicester City, Virgil van Dijk, is it Virgil van Dijk? Virgil van Dijk? Nil. It's nil. Now, Neil has endured quite a tough D.T.L debut season, and I tipped Neil really to just break into that top 10. Same with Matt over at Newcastle, because both of them, it was their first season, and I don't think either of them were expecting too much. But Neil has really had a shit show. He really has had a shit show. Let's have a look at how his month went then. Liverpool, he went out the FA Cup late in January, we knew that. So he beat Watford, he lost to Trunky, he lost to Arsenal, and then he got thrashed against Newcastle. Let's have a look at that actually. I didn't realise they played each other. Yeah, you know, he's got to do something. I mean, he's got a month ahead of him now of only 3 league games. You know, and I think looking at that, he's got to be aiming for at least 6 points. He's desperate for 6 points from those 3 games. But as I said, he has been sacked and he has been reinstated. You don't get no negative points or anything like that for a sacking, just humiliation really. Over to Manchester United, London 35. Let me remind you, he had a shocking start to D.T.L season 6. He had a good month a couple of months back, but it was a difficult looking month by the looks of this. February, so lost to Newcastle, lost to Derby, lost to Southampton, went through in the Cup, went out the League Cup. It is a shocking month. He lost every league game. You've got to feel for him. More importantly, that last game there against Wolverhampton Wanderers, we'll get to that in a moment. But his season's collapsed a little bit there. That was one of those months you could do without. It really is. Over to Evesham over at Bolton Wanderers. I bet when I said sacking, I bet you were all tipping it was Evesham, didn't you? I know I was. A draw with Arsenal, a victory at Fulham, a defeat with Newcastle, and a defeat with Southampton. You're lucky you don't get the sack. You really are. In fact, I'll tell you what we should do, right? We should look at that, shouldn't we? So just the ghost and Dwemerston. Do you know what? I don't ever look at this, do I? And I should do. I really should. Because that is appalling. It really is. Before we go to my own team, let's go to just a ghost. So he's only 4 points off. So a bit harsh, really, to make him... very insecure. And let's have a look at how his month went. And I do apologise, really, to just the ghost, because I don't probably spend enough time on the First Division. A draw out the FA Cup, a win, a defeat. But I think we all agree, we all want to see Just a Ghost make promotion. We all want him in the top flight. Of course we fucking do. Just needs to get his arse in gear, don't he? Okay. And finally, let's go to the mighty offside trap. The mighty Wolves. And we had a great month. We had a fucking great month, which is the first in a long time. After a real bad run of form, we beat Sheffield Wednesday, we beat Watford, and then we had back-to-back victories against human opposition, Preston and Manchester United, and we got the upper hand in the UEFA Cup. Let's take a look at our stats. We scraped that. Yeah, we probably... Yeah, okay. Well, whatever. I'll take it, whatever it is. Yeah, we deserved that. Preston North End. Probably didn't deserve that, let's be honest, we did not deserve that victory. And a victory at London 35, again, we got lucky, but do you know what? Winning is winning. Winning is key. So that's where we're at then, guys, with the D.T.L, as we really hit the business end now. Can Trunky do the quad? That's what's on everyone's lips at the minute. It's going to be a huge month. Let me just see something. When is the League Cup final? It is this month, and that's where the net... right, okay. So this is a huge month for Trunky. He'll get his place in the Champions League. We'll know if he's won the League Cup, but let's not take anything away. He's playing Redknapp, so he's not exactly got a walk in the park. Redknapp, I think he needs something to rescue his season. Redknapp's in the UEFA Cup, of course, along with myself and Spectral's Chelsea. Matt's Newcastle. Can he continue to defy the odds and stay in that top 3, shall I say? Same with Reece at Tranmere. Preston's doing a good job. Marimo, Dermatron, Champions League. You know, he might finish out the top 6, but if he wins that Champions League, then brilliant. Same with AJ. AJ over at Manchester City. Dwemerston, can you get some sort of consistency? You're only 6 points off the top 5. You know, there's plenty of time. I think the gap really from 12th to 13th there, that's where it's crucial. And with that in mind, Neil, can Neil get his arse in gear? Neil, Ian, Evesham, you've got some work to do. You really have. There's no danger of you guys getting relegated, and I don't think there's no danger of Neil getting another sacking. But the other guys, you guys have got work to do. You really have. Let's cheer on Just the Ghost, because we all want him to get promoted. Average rating then, for what it's worth, Patrick Vieira, well done. Leading goal scorer, Kevin Phillips at Man United. Very, very interesting. And the assist machine, Laurent Robert. That's an interesting one. Did not see that coming. So, it's all good, guys. It's all good. Hope you enjoyed the video. Till next time, take it easy.